Hello guys, welcome back to Mr. Cloudbook channel. Today is the day 59 of the Kubernetes masterclass, and in this video we are going to see about the network policies in the Kubernetes. So in a simple terms I will explain. So what is the network policy? So imagine you and your friends are playing in a big playground. So that is a big playground. Everyone has their own tree house. Okay, there are so many trees and everyone, like in each of your friends have one of the tree house. Okay, so everyone have the one tree house, and normally anyone can visit the tree house freely. Okay, because everyone is friends, right? So anyone can come to your tree house, and you can go to the other tree house like that. So that is also possible. But sometimes you want to only your best friends to come in and not let strangers in, right? So only your friends can come. So not outside of the people. So other than the people, you don't allow anyone into that particular tree house, right? So you hire a friendly security guard, that is called the network policy. So we will hire one friendly security guard to stand at the entrance of your treehouse. You give the guard a list of names, okay? A list of labels or like that we can give, provide the IP address, namespace, like that. So we will provide the list of names. Only with this particular labels of friends you can allow inside. So if someone tries to enter and their name is not on the list, just say no, sorry, you can't come in. So there is no access for to go into that particular house. So in a Kubernetes way, so we have the pods. We will create one network policy and we will give access to particular pods to talk with that particular pod. Some particular front end application can talk with that particular pod. Some backend application can talk with that particular pod, like that. See what happens whenever you try to give the access to the pod. So your backend should talk with the Postgres database. So your front end doesn't need to talk with it, because front end and backend can talk, and we can give the access to backend to database. That's it, not to the any other pod. So only backend can talk with the database. So at that time we can use the network policies. Okay. So any other pod try to talk with that particular pod, they will not allow. Only the allowed persons can easily talk in a safe and secure way. That is how network policy also works in the Kubernetes. Okay. So we will see in a simple way. So network policy here, if you want to control traffic flow at the IP address or port level, our network policies allow you to the specify rules for the traffic, how within your cluster and between the pods, outside the world and everything, we can use this network policies. So if you want to control traffic flow at the IP address level, or at the pod level or the namespace level, we can do all these things. You can read it from here itself, prerequisites. So this is the kubernetes.io. So you can directly search for the network policy. The two shots of the pod isolation, we have the ingress and or egress. So ingress means inbound rule and egress means outbound rule. You can read it from here itself. This is the egress and this is the ingress. So the two shots of the pod isolation. So this is the network policy example. So this policy, what it will do, we have the policy and role. Okay, we are matching that particular pod selector with the label DB, and we are allowing the traffic. See, ingress means we are allowing the inbound. So with this particular IP address only, you can talk with this particular database pod. So namespace label. So if there is any namespace selector, that pod in that particular namespace, like that we can provide pod selector, match labels, front end application, like that. Only front end application can talk with the database, like that. So ingress means inbound rule. So which pod can talk with my database, like that. So egress, so outbound rules. So we are allowing the outbound rules to this and to this particular 5978 TCP port and all this. So mandatory. So you can read it from here itself. Spec. We have to write this, right? So how to write the API version and everything. So these are all mandatory. API version, kind, metadata fields are mandatory fields. Spec. We will add pod selector means each network policy includes a pod selector which selects the group of pods to which policy applies. The example policy select the pods label with the role DB. So we will select with that particular label and policy types egress or ingress. Like inbound and outbound route, we have to tell. So how to connect to your pod. So ingress means you can read it from here itself. So it will include a list of allowed ingress policies or ingress rules. to talk with that particular pod. Like from which pod I can talk. So egress means we are going to give rule outside. So network policy include allow list egress rules. Each rule allows the traffic which matches to and port section. So to where outside it will go to that particular traffic. So behavior of to and from selector. So default deny. So if you want to deny all traffic to that particular pod, you can create one simple like network policy like this API version kind and everything. You can just deny ingress traffic. So inbound traffic completely blocked with this particular policy. This is the policy that blocks us the complete ingress access. So if you want to allow ingress, so you have to add like this, see, ingress. So here pod selector is there, we have the pod selector, and policy types is there. Here also policy types is there. So what is the only thing added to allow this thing? So if you add this one, it will allow the all ingress traffic to particular pod. This is the one of the network policy. If you want to delete, I mean deny the egress, that is also same. You just need to change this into ingress to egress. The same thing goes here. If you want to allow traffic, all the outbound traffic to that particular pod, you can just add this one. So you can default deny all ingress and all egress traffic. You can add it into the same policy type. So we will see simple demo as well. So this is the network policy. We are going to talk with the database. So outbound traffic. So egress to which pod it can talk. So this particular IP address, it should talk like that. So anything. So in between this port, okay, this is the starting port and this is the ending port. So that is also possible, and you can label the namespace and backspace. So we can select with this also namespace level. So having the front end namespace or back end namespace can talk with this particular my app like that. Okay, this is all pod life cycle. You can read it. So let's come here. So let's see get nodes. So I have this. So what I can do is I will create one.yaml. So I'll create a simple pod.yaml file. So let me take the duplicate tab here. So I'll go with the pod, the pods, simple nginx pod, that is done. Copy this and paste it and delete this. Ports is not needed. And here what you can do is you can add the label here. Okay, label is mandatory here because we need to call from the label itself, right? That's why we can provide the label here. So I'll add label. So which label you want? App equals to my app label. So I want this particular label to my pod. So come out of it. So what I will do is I will use apply this k apply -f one.yaml. Okay, bad request. Okay, a metadata unknown field. Okay, let's see if I made me write some mistake. Labels. It should be labels, not label. Okay, okay. K apply -f one.yaml. So pod nginx is created. So I created one pod. So with pod name is nginx and a label that we added is app, my app, right? Cat one.yaml. See labels app equals to my app. So nginx is running. So you can check the pods as well. Get pods. So what is happening? Oh, maybe I think it stopped again. So we will create one simple network policy. So what I will do is, so I will allow the only front-end application can talk with that my particular pod. Okay. So whatever the pod that we are running right now, nginx pod. So I want only front-end pod can talk with my nginx. Okay. For that case, what I will do is I will copy the network policy from here itself. So I will take this particular one of the policy as the example. We will change the values and everything inside. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this as it is and come here vi 2.yaml, enter. So what I'll do is I'll remove that unnecessary values here. So you can provide anything like name, namespace, that is up to you. By default, I will do here. Okay. So API version, kind, metadata, you know how to get this all. So you can directly provide kubectl explain network policy. You will get all this data. Okay. So allow front end. Only front end app can talk with my pod. Okay, namespace, that is up to you if you want to. And the pod selector, okay, what are my labels? Labels equals to app, my app, that is fine. So policy type, okay. So what I will do is, so ingress traffic, only I will allow front end app to talk with my Nginx pod. So that's why I will add ingress here, ingress. Okay, let's check this, capital I or small I. So okay, this should be capital, I think. Okay, yeah, capital I. So check this, okay. If you give the wrong, so it will throw the issue. That's why I'm explaining here. Change to ingress. Okay, and to from we need this, delete, sorry, escape, delete this, delete this. So let's delete this. Okay, let's come, sorry. So insert mode and add ingress here. So we will add hyphen from. So which one we want? I want only one pod. Not every pod can talk with my Nginx pod. So I will write as pod selector colon. So next match labels we have to tell match labels role equals to front end. Sorry, here role equals to front end. So what Ajay you are doing means I am creating one ingress rule for only front end pod. We will create one simple front end pod and one back end pod, and we will try to see that front end pod and back end pod that we are creating after this will able to talk with that particular Nginx pod or not. That is the main policy here that we are talking. So what I will do is from ports. So sorry, it should be small ports. So what is the protocol we will use? TCP protocol, protocol, that is capital TCP. And inside which port we will provide? Port 80. So 84. So come out of it. So here if you want to understand, so we are using the pod selector. Chooses the pod with the app, my app. Only one pod it will choose. So and next policy types, we are setting the rules for only incoming traffics. Okay, policy type what we added, ingress. Ingress rule, only pods with the label front end can send a TCP traffic on port 80. Okay, so only front end pod can talk with my app pod. Okay, label that is Nginx. So any other pod, okay, will be not able to talk, will be kept outside. Okay, only front end pod can talk with my Nginx. Okay, this is my Nginx pod, right? cat1.yaml. So my app equals to my app label, that is done. cat2.yaml, see, app, my app. So only front end can talk with my app. Okay, so k apply hyphen f2.yaml. Okay, bad request, maybe unknown field, ingress ports protocol. Maybe I gave the wrong word or anything. Let's check that. va2.yaml again. Imports protocol. It should be O instead of A. Okay. So let's apply. Okay. Get network policy. Enter. So this is the one we created now. So pod selector, which is app, my app. So only the front end app can talk with my Nginx pod. Back end app not able to talk. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll create two pods. Okay. Uh, First of all, let's create a simple front end busy box or back end busy box. Okay. We will do simple pod again. Let's take that this example. So let's create vi3.yaml, enter. So what I will do is I'll add other pods. Okay, I'll change the name here. Here what I will do, fe front end labels we add. Okay, labels. What, which label we added? Front end label, right? So that's why we create role equals to front end. Okay, that is fine. Next, I will use simple busy box. So you can change these names as well to busy box. busy box. And next what we can do is we can add simple command. So it should wait for some time. Okay. So brackets, square brackets, sh, comma, hyphen c. So what I'm going to do is I'll make sleep 3600 seconds for later use case. Okay. So this is the simple part. Delete this. Okay. So this is the simple busy box, right? So you can use this. Let me copy this. So we can use for the same for the backend as well. Come out of it. So what I'll do is kapply -f 3.yml that is created. So vi 4.yml with backend we will create. Okay. So same, you don't need to change anything. So all you need to change is these values. Okay. To be, and this is also you can change it to backend like that. Okay. So that is enough. You don't need to change anything. Come out of it. So let's apply -f 4.yml. Okay. So cat 3.yml. Sorry. So cat 2.yml. So here see role front end. Role front end. So for front end pod, I am using the role front end. So whatever the pod, okay, k get 4. See, I have all the pods running. Network policy is attached. So I have the front end pod and back end pod and Nginx pod. So I gave the front end pod to talk with Nginx. Didn't give access to back end to talk with the Nginx. Okay. So what we have to do? So here, let's test it. What I will do is kubectl exec hyphen it and fe. So I will go into the front end pod. So I am inside the front end pod. Okay. Wget hyphen q capital O and hyphen. So you can give the access my pod. We can use the pod IP actually. Let's see. I will come out of it first of all, and let's see the pod IP as well. Yeah, pods hyphen O wide enter. Okay, we will try to go inside again, and what we will use is wget hyphen q capital O and HTTP we will try to see and 80 this is the front end pod this is the nginx. So check this nginx IP address I'm trying to use with 80 enter. See, welcome to nginx. So I am able to get the welcome to nginx from the front end pod. You can see that. So I am using the front end pod, right? So what I'll do is I'll exit from here itself and I will do backend now. See, I'm changing it to backend pod. So I will use the same command again. Okay, let's try to see I'm able to talk with that particular thing or not here. Okay, just copy this again and paste it on backend pod and enter. See, so I'm not getting any output here. See, so still it's on pending state, right? See, but here, see on front end pod, I'm able to talk with my Nginx. For a backend, it's not able to talk. Why? We added the network policy. Front end can talk with my Nginx pod and backend not able to talk or don't give access to backend to talk with my Nginx. So that is the rule I added. So if I cancel it, exit, and if I try to see, this is the one I used, right? So if you give, it's not working. This is the backend pod. See, backend, BE, cancel it. So I'll exit from here. So what I will do is I will go to the front end now. See, this is the front end pod. Again, up arrow and enter. See, welcome to Nginx. So front end pod can talk with my Nginx pod. So this is how network policy will works. So you have to give the access only to the particular pod can talk with particular pod inside your cluster. So this is all about the network policies. Okay. I hope you understand this particular video and thanks for watching the video and keep on supporting to Mr. Cloudbook channel.